Hello!
Welcome to... Joe didn't say it! Magic Mr. Mayhem, a TDRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent voices. I'm Alex, your host, and Gemma, with me are Rowan, Mark, and Joe, my wonderful players. How is everyone doing today? We don't do take twos. That is all in. It's all in.
Okay.
I mean,
that kind of is the take two, but...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, only because I accidentally muted it. But there wasn't really a take two? Because I didn't hear the first one.
He only hides the take twos if the first take was his fault that it was messed up.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I keep them all in. But that one, there would be nothing to take two because it doesn't record your screen share. So it would just be silence for like 30 seconds at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So you get to make that edit.
Okay,
Yeah.
do that. Do 30 seconds of silence. And then put in a little edit that says, this is 30 seconds of silence because I got it wrong. And then play it. And then that'll make sense to everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. And then brand and copyright our own silence. Hey.
Or make yourself look like an idiot by letting it start playing and go past the point and you not say anything.
Well, exactly. And hey, if you enjoy our incessant ramblings at the beginning of this, I just feel like it's good to remind everyone that we have a Patreon, and on the Patreon there's somewhere between 15 minutes to half an hour of us just talking before we start, and it's usually...
nonsense.
I don't know. Everyone choose
brilliant.
one word. Everyone choose one word to describe the pre-rambles that are $1 a month.
Depressing?
Chaos.
Audio.
Good word to describe. Yeah, Patreon's $1 a month. Anyway, so how are you all doing? You never answered my question. You just decided to mock me. Or is that how you're
I
doing?
feel upset because Alex clearly doesn't think that I do a good enough job promoting the Patreon.
Hello!
So...
You may not do a good enough job promoting the Patreon, but you do a very good job of keeping up to date with current news, specifically and especially why Cody isn't here this week.
Well, I keep up with where all of you are all the time, just in case I get asked that, because while it would be optimal to find out, just before we do the stream, I have to know so that I'm prepared in case anyone asks me at any time. So, at the moment, Purdy has joined a live action, in-person role-playing group, more similar to a LARP group. So she is currently LARPing. This is actually, it's not like a D&D style thing though. They like to do movie reenactments. So Purdy is currently on the side of the protagonists for a reenactment of the movie The Descent. She's currently stuck underneath a system of caves while the other team have been down there for like a week with no food and no light, and they are going to try and attack and find them. So we hope that Purdy does well and comes out of the LARP okay. And if not, she said that I could have her caravan.
I'm calling bullshit. Purdy would never do that.
Not sober.
You never.
But she made a commitment while drunk.
Fuck.
And felt that she'd disappoint people if she didn't keep to it. So
you know what? No, now it makes sense.
Yeah. So we have a recap.
Yes.
There's a lot happening here that we're just not explaining.
I don't think we ever explain anything.
No.
There's got to be at least one person who's like, some of these feel no, they're not true. I reckon when you start some of them, like, some people are like, is that true? No, that can't. No. That
I
can't
should
be true.
specify it's the UK version of The Descent and not the American version.
Well, of course.
So it's much.
yes.
It's a much scarier reenactment.
Yeah, it's spelled the British way. The recap.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out what you meant by the British spelling of descent.
It's spelled decent.
Well, it's actually for us. It's called Depenny.
Depenny. Very good.
In gardens lush the party tread, with flowers bright and sweet. Automatons stood in statues' stead, gardening on repeat. They spied upon a mighty tree, a glint of something metal. They discovered that it was a key, hanging from the petals. But danger was a fear of theirs, were they to hurt the green, so plans were thought and made and shared to avoid creating a scene. Up soared bold Pesto, ladle held in flight toward the prize that shimmered in the bow. No gentle way, he snapped outright, and the gardeners started to row. With beams of powerful, searing light, they struck them key in hand. They turned and fled with all their might, whilst the party made their stand. Yet once the bearer cleared the gate, the foes grew still and stayed. Their aggression gone, but not too late, no need for them to be slayed. They moved to the halls of watching faces, where codes were made and tried. With clever minds and rapid paces, they solved it in their stride. This key they had been searching for, with strife and much frustration. They finally could open up a door on which they had much fixation. The room inside needed silence utmost, so Monty flew without a sound. The next chamber contained a box and a ghost, its arms outward bound. The box lay still atop a plinth of stone, yet false a misdirected clue. A hidden path the real way became most known, the secret door revealed what's true. 3 doors they passed, not marked with sign, and so ahead they ploughed, to a room with a coin that did so shine. Let's play, it spoke out loud. But tricksters they, the word they spoke, heads we win and tails you lose. The coin was beaten and did invoke the path for them to cruise.
I think that's probably the most helpful recap I've done in a very long time.
And it actually reminded me about several things I had forgotten. In particular, who was it came up with the head you win, tail you lose? Rowan, wasn't it?
Twas me.
I think
Was
it was
I
Joe.
didn't think of anything
Yeah.
valuable last time.
Because it demonstrated that I was in character and out of character the wisest.
You are the wise one. There are 2 things you must know about the wise woman.
You find Ozzy is the wise woman. You find yourself at the brunken door of room 26 that I shall re-explain to you, because up until now you'd had a lot of 15 by 15 rooms. This one was in fact 15 by 25.
25, yes, exactly.
Exactly. The chamber is unremarkable at first glance. Smooth stone walls, a slightly dusty floor, and a large wooden door at the far end.
Did you say dusty or busty floor?
Whichever one you'd prefer.
All right, the floor has a giant rack of honkin' debunkers.
Above it, an inscription reads, "The path is clear until it isn't." And then I have the moment the participants step forward, but of course you have not, so therefore, not much going to happen.
I'm going to step forward.
You die.
Okay. The moment you step forward, the door opposite vanishes.
Path is clear, but it's not going to be clear for long. I'll wager, or it's the wrong door. I said, chaps, there's a sort of door thing.
Okay, walk through it.
But I think before I do walk through it, I'll go and have a look at it. So I shall walk towards it.
Okay. You walk towards it.
I'm now looking at the door.
Well, you're not looking at the door, you're looking at a wall.
Oh,
What happens if you close your eyes?
I can't see anything.
Yeah, but is the door
Oh my
there?
god, we need to get you some medical assistance.
I will close my eyes. First of all, I will take my rapier and tap the wall where the previously door-shaped hole was.
Seems solid.
Tap, tap, tap. I shall close my eyes and tap the same piece of wall.
Seems the same.
Nope.
I ask you, dear sir, what is the difference between a wall and a closed door? Simply open the wall.
I'm going to step that one.
Sure.
Is the door there anymore, or back, or is it?
Oh no, the door is not. Sorry, the tiny little pause there because I was expecting the next words to be perception. But is the door there? No.
I don't need to percept to see if there's a door there or not. Okay.
Well, I meant
So
look
that's-
around the room. It's just every single other room. I guess it's a new session, but you're
I'll
always, you know.
step back again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any sign of the door?
Not well, other than the one you came through.
So there's the actual there isn't a closed door, open door, just a wall now.
There is the door that you came through, and the rest of it is just smooth stone walls the whole way around.
And if I step out of the room,
The inscription is still above where the door was, opposite. That says the path is clear until it isn't. But as you step out of the room, nothing changes. Your door is not there.
door's gone, chaps.
Oh.
I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to investigate where the door was previously said to be.
Of course.
Who do I look like at the moment?
You said so many different things. You currently look like... Let's get a 24.
Pumpkin.
Not that I'd know. I suppose I could look at my hand. I could never guess it. Right.
Yeah, in fact, actually, everybody would have very different hands. You've got the raccoon paws, the human hands, the skeleton hands, and usually your gloves / see-through hands. So everyone has very distinctive visages.
I'm just at the moment just ignoring it because I can't do anything about it anyway.
Yep.
Speaking of Niffy, what's happening with Niffy at the moment?
She seems to be fully embracing the marijuana effect that came earlier and is just a little spaced.
Standing there like
Yeah,
an
look.
NPC.
Yes.
You're like dancing to music in her own head.
And that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. A very quick look around the room, looking around. Oh, very interestingly, similar colours to the wall. You can see where you missed it to begin with. There's a lever on the wall on the north, just where I put that line.
You want to come in here, chaps, just in case anything untoward goes on?
Okay, but remember, if anything goes wrong, it was your idea.
But I will pick Niffy up and bring her in as well.
Sure. Pesto, as you step into the room...
Don't.
Wait, did you step in first, or was Ozzy first?
I stepped in fucking first.
You stepped in first, okay. As you stepped into the room,
Yeah.
you see Monty in the corner looking at a lever.
Any sign? I say, chaps, you can't see a door on the far side of the room, can you, from where you're standing?
You cannot.
Oh yeah, I see the door.
Oh, go through it then.
Okay. Oh shit, it's locked. Actually, no, I'd be standing there. The wall, it's locked. Weird.
Standing slightly off where the door was.
You see the sign, dear boy?
Oh, what does it say?
Just above where the door was, it says the path is clear until it isn't.
That's where the door was. I think you're in slightly the wrong place. That's it. Now push the wall or something.
The path is clear. That doesn't sound like a riddle. That just sounds like a statement, which isn't really helpful.
True, but I'm going to pull the lever now, so you might want to stand back from the door a little, just in case.
Oh yeah. 1 second. I'm just gonna take a look at this plaque or inscription.
Inscription?
Can I
Right, you are.
investigate the inscription?
You are welcome to.
Yay! Dirty 20. Actually, no. Dirty 22 because we have that +2 still. I assume.
Yes.
It's carved. I mean, it's quite far away. It's kind of hard to actually get to, but it's carved into the stone, or what's the word? It is
Engraved?
engraved into the stone, nicely, but not perfectly. There's no like notable differences in any of the letters or anything, but it's a little bit squiffy, as though someone did it.
It's not an illusion or anything, or there's
No,
not
it doesn't appear to be.
not like extra words that I can like rub off the bottom of to see
There's
better.
nothing for you to rub off.
Well, I like the way you think
Damn.
of it.
I'll do myself then. Never mind. Okay.
I saw your faces were like, no,
No,
no, not that one.
no.
Do we have a way of like filling the room with smoke or something?
Yeah.
Were you flicking the lever because you were going to, and then
Not until Pestia moves away from the door, because if it like opens that way,
Yeah.
it would be a shame if Pestia is right in the door.
Actually, I'm just going to step back as well, because
Yes.
it seems like a goes wrong show sort of thing, where even if I were standing out of the way, it would fling over that side.
Yes,
and slam me up there.
exactly, yeah. That is Goes Wrong Show, is, by the way.
You know what? I'm going to stand next to Ozzy since he can defend me if something horrible happens.
you stand in the middle of the room, the entire wall just slams down.
Yeah.
Like Bugs Bunny. Or Roadrunner. Anyway, righto, chaps, I'm going to pull the lever. I'm just going to touch the lever at the back of my hand first in case it's electrified or anything.
It's not electrified?
It bites you. Wait, actually?
You touch the lever.
Examine the
It touches
lever.
back.
I am going to
Touching
investigate.
me. I'm touching it.
I'm going to investigate the lever.
It's
In fact,
touching
to make sure it's
me.
not actually alive.
Oh.
And I'm touching it.
That's 22. These goggles are great.
22. Rather interestingly, as you're looking at the lever, get round to it, you notice, actually, there's not just a lever on the wall. Just to the left of it, there's a button.
Oh.
There's a button over here, chaps.
So true.
I tell you what. Yeah, I'm going to investigate the button.
Yeah. I'm going to investigate the wall next to the button.
Okay.
You do that first.
14.
14, you don't find anything over in that corner.
This one's just a wall.
Okay, I'll get them. Oh, that wasn't very good. Come on. Take that advantage away. That wasn't very good either. That's 16 on the button.
16 on the button. I mean, the button appears to be a button. You can see how you'd miss it. It's a similar color to the stone of the wall. Or in fact, exactly the same stone as the wall. So quite hard to see. But appears to just be a button.
I'll tell you what. I'm also going to investigate this corner here.
Okay.
I'm looking at the wall to see if there's anything.
Northwest corner.
That was a very poor roll. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's... No. Good. That's 15.
Don't find anything in that corner.
Wait! Can I investigate the floor of that corner?
You can investigate the floor of that corner. Why not? As he's investigating the wall, you scutter under his legs.
19.
19. Well, interestingly, on the floor, you find a mask. At first, you think, oh, did this fall off Monty? No, it's just sitting on the floor. I mean, I don't know how any of you missed that on the ground, but let's do some more drawing. There's just around here. There's just a little mask.
Guys, I don't fucking like this.
It's nothing particularly interesting. Just like a ceramic thin plain mask with eye holes, a bit of a nose bump, but no defined features.
Oh, it's got eye holes. Okay.
Okay.
Can I pick up the mask?
Yeah. It doesn't seem particularly abnormal. It's not extra heavy, extra light. It seems just like a little mask. Ceramic mask. Full face.
I fucking hate this room. I hate this room a lot.
Well, I've got to be honest, Jeff.
It's making me really uncomfortable.
For an empty room, it's quite... I'm going to move around one more.
Okay.
And I'm going to investigate the wall.
To the north of the wall that you came through, yeah.
Now, come on, Red Dice. You were doing so much better last week. That's 14.
14. I don't find anything on that particular bit of wall.
I'm gonna start identifying the mask.
Sure.
While Pester does that, I'm going to investigate the ceiling above my head. 22.
22. How interesting. Above you, the ceiling is about 10 feet above you, so you wouldn't be able to reach it.
I can fly.
It's a little bit out of your reach.
You got fly boots.
But sitting up on the ceiling, you're like, oh, that's interesting. There's a button.
Every time we succeed in an investigation, we find something.
More disconcertingly and metally, he's rolling. Which is,
I think so.
Joe, let us know when you figure out what the fuck's going on, because I see your cog spinning.
The way is clear.
I'm just scared.
Yeah, the podcast needs to know that, like, the gap of silence that I will inevitably just sort of, like, cut out from, I guess the clicking from Joe. There are thoughts all over the face.
The room is in shambles, everybody.
So, the way is clear until it's...
I don't want to keep looking, because we're going to keep finding things, and I don't like that.
So...
The mask, the identification takes 10 minutes, so obviously it'll be a while until you work out anything like that.
So it could mean the way was clear in the sense that there was a lever, you pull the lever, the door will open. Until it isn't, because we kept investigating and found other things.
Have we failed an investigation yet?
Yes, several times.
To clarify,
well, I say failed.
Joe likes specific wording. You have done investigations and found nothing.
Correct. And in a meta way, the investigations that have found nothing have been less than 20. They've been lower values. Every time we've done a high value.
I was thinking, is it a thing where we need to, like, the way is unclear because we
need to fail
the check, and therefore succeed? All
right, chaps, stand back. I'm going to pull the lever. That was the first thing we found.
Oh, I thought you'd done that already.
No, I wanted to find out if there's anything around. I investigated the lever and found the button.
Wait, let me finish identifying this first in case that room like locks the door and suffocates us to death or something.
All right, I shall hang on.
Thank you.
Well, if this does suffocate the both of you, it was very nice serving on your crew.
Do I breathe? I must breathe. Yes, I breathe.
After 10 minutes, whilst you've just been waiting around, are you doing anything else in that 10 minutes? Investigating any more of the room?
No, I'm going to wait and see that. I think we're going to just find more random buttons and pieces and odds and sods.
You find that the mask is an illusion.
No.
And because it says the actions that you can undertake with it, it appears that if you were to put it on, it would disappear.
Okay.
Well, at least that's the bits that aren't the curses that you don't get from it.
Right. So when I try and pull this lever, it's possible it's not really there. I'm going to try pull the lever.
Wonderful. You pull down the lever, it disappears.
Yep. It was a damn little... Okay. That's it. You fancy pressing that button you're standing next to?
I don't want to do it. You do it.
All right, stand out of the way.
All right.
Oh, press the button.
You press the button. It goes. Disappears.
Is the door there yet, Ozzy?
Well, we'll try the door.
When you say try the door, it's a stone wall.
Yeah, I'll like push on it.
It's a stone wall.
No, it's still a wall.
Okay. I'm going to go over here, fly up into the air,
Mm-hmm.
press the button on the ceiling.
Sure.
I don't know if that's your rolling your dice. That's not good at all.
Oh, ignore that. You fly up, click it. Disappears.
Right. I'm going to investigate the wall over here.
The other side of the door you came through? Sure.
Actually, no. I'm going to investigate the door we came through. Is the door? I'm going to close the door and investigate it.
Hard to close the door completely because they don't have door handles. It is just like a stone door on a hinge. Actually, no, I guess because you'd have pushed it from the other side. So, yes, you can close it completely. You would be, though, very aware it would be very difficult to open again because there's no door handles, no anything. It's just like a stone slab on hinges. So you potentially could open it afterwards, but it's not... Like, it fits quite nicely into the doorway. You pushed it to open it initially. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just giving you that information.
I'm going to close it so it's not 100% closed. It's a little bit of an edge.
Just before. Okay, yeah, sure.
I investigated just on the off chance, and that is a... No, I can do that twice. Oh, that's better. 23.
23. Rather interestingly, as you close the door and take a little look, etched into the door is a little sigil on the back of the door. Etched in. It's not particularly large, maybe like the size of a handprint. You vaguely recognise it as one of the sigils and symbols you've seen around in other spots, though you don't recognise it enough to identify it.
I'll open the door again.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky one trying to get your fingers around it, but you open up the door again.
Am I looking back into room 25?
Well, I mean, you're looking into the tiny little corridor before room 25, but you can see down and through into 25, yeah.
So I can...
Well, I mean, you can see down through into a stone room. There's nothing in there anymore. Oh, did I say the coin floated back in the middle again?
Can't remember.
If I said the coin was there before, then the coin's there before. If I said it's gone, then it's not.
I don't
the same as you remember.
I think it went.
The coin went. Oh, dear.
Fine.
But there was a pedestal, wasn't there? There was a little pedestal floating above.
No, it was just floating in the middle.
Was it?
I believe so. Whatever. It looks the same as when you left it.
I'm going to wander down.
Whatever that was.
There's a pretend door over there. Yeah, this is room 25. Okay, so we haven't sort of been switched around. Chaps, you might want to investigate as well. See if you can. We need to find buttons, levers, whatever. And keep pressing things until something happens.
Can I make an Arcana check to determine what that sigil may be for?
Sure. Welcome to.
That's a dirty 20. I'm investigating the wall where I'm standing.
Sure. The other side of that door, you find, rather interestingly, how I'm going to represent this like that, a door handle.
Fucking hell.
I will
21.
attempt to turn the door handle and open whatever door it is attached to.
You start to turn the door handle. With your 21, the sigil is definitely... you would remember you've probably seen it maybe on one of those faces in Corridor 8 and in other places, but you've never had any use of it as a sigil before. It's just been around. It's similar to the things that you've seen. It's just not been one you had to interact with previously. You turn the door handle, and it disappears.
I have the last charge of my Wand of Secrets. If we want to use that.
Not yet. We haven't exhausted all our possibilities yet.
Can I try to push the sigil?
To do so, you would have to push the door closed completely, because it's on its hinges.
Hey, go ahead, it's right. We can always open it again. Ozzy's strong.
Fine. I'll do it.
You push on the sigil, and it disappears, and there's a little as the stone around the doorway seals itself shut.
Look. Okay.
The door is there until it isn't.
Oh, that was a silly idea.
We've probably got a few days before you
The
die
door
of
is there until it
starvation and
isn't.
thirst.
Hey guys, the door's there until it isn't. Hey.
So, how would you like to spend your last couple of days?
Just
We
lie on the ground, staring upwards.
We could play like Petty Cake or I Spy.
I'm going to go over to where the door used to be. Ozzy, could I just
Why would
squeeze
you have a
past
pie
you?
made of ice? You go over where the door used to be? Which door used to be? The one you came through, or the one that disappeared initially?
To the one we're trying to get out through, where
Okay.
the sign is, and pushing on the wall again. Now the other door's vanished.
It just appears to be a stone wall.
I'm going to pretend to turn the door handle.
You pretend to turn the door handle. Nothing happens.
I'm going to put on the mask to get rid of it.
Yes, that does happen. It disappears.
I'm going to pretend to pull a lever on the door.
You do so. And a convincing lever pull it was.
There is now just the four of us in the room.
Yes.
There's no more illusory buttons or levers or anything. It's just the four of us in this room.
I mean, you're welcome to look around to see if you can find any other illusory buttons. Or
I'm going to go back over. I'm over to here now. This corner.
bottom left corner, yeah.
Yeah, bottom left corner. I'm going to guess it. If I do roll well, which I just have, and that's even better, I'm going to find something. That would be a 24, a natural 20, and the 4.
Ah, a natural 20.
I know.
Fiddling around with the walls. Ooh, this wall's raised a little bit. That's really odd. Oh, a part of the wall comes off. You have in your hand a stone mask.
Oh, right. I'm going to put it on. I can't. I'm wearing a mask. Yeah.
I mean, you can put it on your mask.
Okay, I'll put it on the outside of my mask. It can't be
On your outside of your mask and it disappears.
vanishes. Yeah. And moving around. 13.
13 on the southern part of the wall. No, you don't seem to find anything.
Did anyone bring any wheat or dairy with them?
Dairy. I don't think so, chap. No, I just.
Just thinking the only other way that I know of is whey and curds. You've got to separate them to make butter or something.
The way is clear. I see where you're coming from. Clever thinking.
Except it says the path is clear until it isn't.
The path is clear. That's true. I'm going to keep on round because, 17.
On that southeastern corner, interestingly, you see on the wall, how you didn't see it before, there's a sigil. Sort of carved into the wall, just there.
I will push on the sigil.
You push on the sigil and it just disappears.
May I remind us?
Yeah.
Hint from last time.
Yeah.
Lots of triggers can be located, but stopping and thinking is underrated.
I agree, but I'm going to do this anyway because this is the last one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Well, on that bit of wall,
I push it.
you find a mask.
A mask.
Was that from the bookshelf, Rowan?
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to find it. I'm going to go now back to where I started from. I am going to. Have I investigated already? I can't remember. This piece where the door is.
You have.
Yes.
Right.
I guess we just sit tight then because of what Pesto said.
Well, stopping and thinking, not just stopping.
But let's try stopping because that they're not saying.
The way it's not clear. Maybe your first thought was correct. Darkness, smoke, something like that.
Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought I saw Alex counting on his fingers.
Don't worry about it.
I tell you what. While we think about it, I'm going to search the floor in the middle of the room.
Ah.
Yeah, that means that's not it then.
What?
19.
Interestingly, there's a mask on the floor.
Another
I'm not sure how you
bloody
didn't
mask.
see it before. Just sitting there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9.
Well, just leave it there because then the path is obstructed and then the path isn't clear.
That's a fair point. I'll leave it there and then try and walk over it towards where the door is.
You step over a mask towards the door.
Towards where the door ought to be. Is the door there?
It's a stone wall.
All right. What can we do to obscure or put it in the way so it isn't clear anymore?
Well, Why don't we think about that after we try the not doing anything thing?
I'm not doing anything now.
Because the only way that I know that we've got is for Pesto to use that spell.
Well, I can. Actually, can I? Have I still got my pass through walls thing?
You should keep in mind, Captain, that like because we're sealed in here, that any fire or anything we do like that, we're gonna A, struggle to get rid of it, but also B, it's gonna start rapidly burning through the oxygen that you both need.
True, but I can get out of here and just open the door from the outside.
I mean,
Can you?
you'd ordinarily be able to do that, but we don't know if you can do that here.
Very fair. Very fair, yes.
I'm gonna have a little lie down.
You do so?
I've been starfished on the floor.
I'm gonna starfish on top of Pesto.
No! You'll kill me! Oh!
You're a bit lumpy, mate.
Don't lay on me.
This is not great. Captain, do you want to come and try this out?
No, you're wearing so much heavy metal.
It's just how I rock.
You're not a rock, you're bone.
It's true. Maybe I'll calcify and turn into a rock. Would that make you feel more at home if I was made of rock?
I hate you.
Suppose I could cavil around like a little bag of stones for you.
Try not to kill our engineer. Would you, Ozzy?
You're not dying, are you, mate?
Can I make a thinking check?
I mean, you could roll an intelligence roll.
I wanted to do what the hint said and think and make sure that I was explicit about it. Oh, good. 2.
I will assist you by my brain, by what remains of my brain being so close to yours.
The last little bit of brain from your skull slops onto Pesto's forehead.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I felt that slip right out of the back of my helmet.
12.
12. What you're currently thinking is that you wish Ozzy wouldn't be lying on you.
You know what? I'm going to miss you two when you die of oxygen deprivation. So I think that's probably going to happen before the thirst and the starvation.
Despite what you may be thinking, that is not a comforting thought.
Well, that's alright. It doesn't really matter now. Well, it might matter now, but I guess it won't matter in a couple of days.
So when we walked into here, you could see the door. But as soon as you walked up the door,
As soon as you walked into the room.
as soon as you walked into the room, it vanished.
Well, there's no reason to suspect that was in fact the door, is there?
Correct. It could have been an illusion.
Yeah.
And the actual door could be somewhere else. But we've been all the way around the walls and it isn't there. We're going to come across it.
I don't know about you. Found tons of things around the walls.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think of any use there.
I'm gonna ritually cast Sense Magical Aura.
Okay.
I was considering that, but I also don't want to blind myself, which I think is a possibility.
It's alright, I don't have eyes.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, around the room, obviously, as usual, all of your friends light up with different bits of magic. And where the door was, or at least where you've been told the door was, is quite a strong blast of illusionary magic.
I can dispel magic.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. Is illusion over there?
I can give it.
Have we just tried walking through it with confidence?
I've tried poking it. I couldn't put my hand through it. Mind you, if the door's there. No, if the door's there but closed, I suppose.
I'm just going to walk through where I see the illusion is, Alex, and just walk with confidence.
You're going to just walk with confidence at it? You're going to try and open a door or any of the other action, or just walk?
No, I'm just going to walk.
Wonderful. You walk with confidence forwards and walk into something.
I'm going to walk over to the same piece of wall, and because I saw the door before it vanished, I'm going to put my hand wherever I think. Was it closed or open when I saw it?
Closed.
Closed. So I would have seen where the handle was.
Close enough to. I mean, it was only there for a second, but...
Okay,
within
but
the-
I will put my hand where the handle was, ish, and attempt to open the door and walk through.
Yeah, you just walk over, feel the handle, open it up, and just open the door. That wasn't that complex, really.
I found it!
And at that point, the illusion of the stone, of course, disappears.
Why didn't I do that in the first place.
Is the door behind us still sealed?
Yeah, it appears to be.
That's it. We can get back with you.
It opens up into a 5x5 stone corridor with another door on the other side of it.
Why didn't I do that in the first place? I should have done that in the first place.
I thought you did. You literally went over to that wall and tried to turn the door handle.
But I didn't specify where the door handle was, though.
I was pretty sure that you did.
No, you didn't try to turn the door handle. You tried to poke. You tried to poke with
No,
your
I
eyes
did.
closed.
No, I did at one point say I attempted to pull a lever, I attempted to turn the doorknob. Remember?
Oh, well, you were... Yes, but it wasn't...
Yeah, but I wasn't treating it as a
Afterwards,
door.
it'll be more clear as to why that didn't count. Because I'm going to go through all the specifics.
Am I seeing anything magical in the corridor?
Oh, that's true. So magical.
No.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, there's like the aura that was illusory magic where you were, because obviously that's now disappeared, but no.
I shall go and open the door.
Well, I
That
mean,
was-
you would open the door, but there's a beryllium block. Keyhole.
We have a key. We
Boss,
have a gorilla
there's a
key.
gorilla keeping this door shut.
I believe we have a gorilla key somewhere. Pesto, I think. Have you got a gorilla key? Yes, I agree. We should.
I look at it this way, mate. That means that there's more oxygen now. You're more likely to survive.
A beryllium key hits you in the back of the head. Which, considering it's like the densest and hardest metal, it's probably quite painful.
I'm wearing a helmet. This is why.
Consider I also have a strength of 10.
10
It hits you pathetically. It opens.
I was just thinking. No, I was just thinking with a skull, which is of necessity hollow, and then a metal helmet. If something like a beryllium key hit it, it'd be like hitting a bell.
Bong. You open up the door into a 25 by 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 room. The chamber is simple, with no visible traps or puzzles, only a grand stone throne in the center, upon which sits a statue of who you can only assume to be Armishan. The statue is carved with a wide, knowing grin, hands resting lazily on the armrests. There are 2 plain doors with no handles or locks, one behind the throne and another on the north wall of the room.
I can hazard a guess where the north wall one goes to.
Am I seeing anything magical in the room as I step in?
Not currently, no.
Can't believe how long it took me to try and open the door.
Let me remind you of another hint that we got. A simple answer will be needed, but the god you serve here should be heeded.
Okay. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I'm going to pop past for a minute. I'm going to walk over to stand in front of the throne and look at the statue. I'm going to touch it yet, though. I'm going to speak to the statue. Hello. What's his name? Army Shan.
Armies and leggy Sean.
Shan. Jolly nice place you have here. You'd like to give us a hand at all, would you? No answer?
You're talking to a statue.
That's what I thought, but you never know with these. Who can
Don't say that like it's far-fetched.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, what a silly gesture.
As far as I'm concerned, I walked through a door and got stabbed by a mushroom, so, you know. Right. I'm going to investigate the statue.
Sure.
The same thing twice. That's 17.
So I'm looking at the head, Captain. That's what it says in the book. It should be heeded.
What's that, sorry?
Try looking at around the head, because that's what the book said. It said about heeding the god.
Thank you, Elsie. I'll bear that in mind.
As you look, you don't get much from it. It is quite nice stonework. You can tell that the chair and the statue are one. It is not a statue placed in a chair so much as an entire carving in itself. The details, you don't know if they're accurate, of course. You have seen the visage of Armishan around the temple in general, because various.
Didn't we meet him?
No, you heard a voice coming from.
Oh, I thought we saw him. Okay, yeah.
From Niffy, but but you've seen like canvases and paintings and stuff around, so you recognize this is probably Armishan. But other than that, nothing particularly. Possibly a little larger
than a person would be as you walk over. It's quite a tall statue. And when you walk in Pesto, Niffy's going to follow. And as she walks in, as you've both walked in, the door behind you shuts. And the statue's eyes glow with a faint golden light. And a voice that you recognize, that you heard from whatever room the ritual circle is in, says, "Why do you think you deserve to get past?"
So this, excuse me, I'll get back to you in just a moment. So this is what was that thing again? A simple answer, whatever it was.
A simple answer will be needed, but the god you serve should be heeded.
The eyes are continuing to just have like a soft glow, but there are no other words, obviously.
What kind of magic am I seeing, Alex?
Is it the illusion?
Illusion. Okay, no, that's fine, because if it was divination, that would mean it probably was actually possessed. The illusion tells us that it is like a magic mouth, speak the password thing, rather than actually having to give the god an answer that you might like and persuade it.
Well, the god is a trickster god, but I don't think actually malicious as such. Just enjoys puzzles and playing with people. Why do we feel we should go past?
I'm gonna hold up my finger bones like this, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
For our audio listeners, I'm sticking my thumb through my index and sweary finger. And I'm going to say, I've taken someone's nose, and I need somewhere to hide it.
The eyes glow particularly bright, and Ozzy disappears.
Oh shit!
Right. So now that I think that's a good thing. I think we have to give a sort of trickstery kind of answer, something that the god of this place would enjoy. Now, I'm not going to go yet. Pesto, did you have any idea?
No.
Yeah, you could say something like, you're on the way to play a April Fool's trick on your best friend, and you're in a hurry to get there. I don't know, something like that.
But see, that's not funny.
Doesn't have to be funny necessarily. It's going to be
Does it not have to?
Oh, it's a trick.
Oh, then if it doesn't have to be funny, well, we have all those 100 people of influence that we have to deceive. And I was planning on actually doing that to see if that wish came true.
From the other side of the room, you can hear just like a...
Where is...
Ozzy, are you in the wall?
I go to this wall here. Can I hear it any better?
There's currently no noise.
Ozzy, are you in the statue?
I say, statue god person. This young lady here is on her way to switch her sister's shampoo with bright green dye to see if she can make her hair a ridiculous colour.
The eyes flash a little more golden, and Niffy disappears.
Come on, Pesto, you could think of something.
I'm very late for a very important date to shit in my friend's soup.
Nothing happens. In fact, the eyes appear to glow a little dimmer for a second.
Let me see. What have I got in my...
Podcast Ron has a sad face on now.
I think Rowan's idea of a trick is just an arranged time to shit in someone's meal. That's a time-honored part of Thanksgiving, isn't it?
I know. I've got it. I've got it. Pesto, cup your hands. Oh no!
You're going to shit in your hands.
Yes. No, I was going to make some pretend gold into his hands, but I don't think I can anymore because I think it was my pack of cards that used to do that.
Well, you have prestidigitation, right?
I do. That's true. That would work. So I'll prestidigitate 5 gold coins into Pesto's hands and say, this young man here is on the way to pop these 5 gold coins into the into a street vendor's gambling table to try
They only last
and
6 seconds. They will have already disappeared.
in that case I need my thoughts. Mate, I've got right. Here's some oil. Hold that. My friend Pesto here is on their way to stand outside a local tavern, spread oil on the floor, stand back and watch the people coming out and slipping all over the place, falling down.
Pesto, you disappear.
Oh, but that one's not too mean.
It doesn't involve poo.
At this point, just want to deafen yourself, Father, because then I can, make it a little easier. That works. The two of you, Ozzy, now Pesto, appears. Pesto, you are standing next to Niffy and Ozzy in a 20-foot corridor. There's a door to the west and walls on the other three sides. The door is shut, and I'm sure I was going to say the other two are talking. Niffy's still kind of, jazzing out.
I don't like this place.
Then why did you insist that we come?
So I thought there'd be good treasure. But I think this place just fucking hates me.
I mean, we found a few things. We had an interesting cultural exchange with that, tribe of bullywugs.
Well, I'm pretty sure they were, eating people and turning them into tents and such.
I mean, people don't make very good tents, but needs must at the end of the day. If you've got a leather shortage, it'll do in a pinch, but
I don't.
There are better things to use.
I think I'm done.
You're stood alone in this room.
Right. Okay. So, I'm going to hover up into the air and say, I am on my way. Hover inside the branches of a tree. Wait for someone to walk underneath during the course of the evening, and then say, boo! And frighten them to death.
Nothing really happens. The eyes glow.
What a good trick. Murder.
No, alright. I'm going to, on my way to the local town, I have to go outside the tavern, look for a cart, take out the peg that holds on the wheels, step back and wait for the owner to come out and drive away and the wheels fall off.
That's glow a bit dimmer.
Dimmer? Now that's quite a good one. I'm going to use my eyes of charming on someone and get them to give their friend a wedgie.
As you look back up at the statue, you can see that it's moved. Oddly, you didn't hear any movement. It's just whilst you were looking around. It almost appears to be head in its hand, looking a little bored at you.
One thing I was going to do, I was going to go back and spread news about Big God Amersham and his tricks, which I rather like, in actual fact.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm still going to do it, because I rather like your dungeon. It's good fun, to be honest. Oh, I know. Yes. As you see, I can change my appearance, thanks to a little toy you've given me. I'm going to go into a local tavern, spend my time being lots of other people, and just cause complete confusion in the place. That'd be quite good fun, actually. I could quite enjoy doing that.
Nothing really happens. As you look up, it just looks a little bit more bored, though. Possibly, perked up a little bit, but still head in hand.
See, what would a trickster god enjoy doing?
Yeah. What were the ones that have succeeded are got your nose.
Got your nose.
Watching people slip over on oil.
Yeah.
What was the one you did for Purdy? Oh, changing someone's hair colour.
That's it.
None of those have had anything to do with money, whereas some of the ones that you've suggested have been to do with messing around the tavern or a merchant and stuff.
To do with people you know, I suppose.
The eyes glow, and you hear a repeat of the voice you heard earlier that says, "Why do you think you deserve to get past?"
Because I've found all these other wizard wheezes for the other guys to do.
You disappear and reappear in a corridor with the other three.
Oh, hi, Captain.
Ah, hello.
And the door that you were, that is to the west over there, cracks open.
Oh, if we waited a little bit longer, then it would have just opened up and we could have just walked in.
I'm going to stand in the doorway here and say, "Thank you." I'm a man. Now, I'm going to... Could you chaps stay in the corridor just in case? Perhaps somebody could hold the door. I think I'd be unlikely to make much... I'm going to step inside the room and keep my fingers crossed.
You step inside the room and keep your fingers crossed.
Does the door close, or does it stay?
I will keep the door open.
The door does not close.
Terrific. I'm going to look down to the front of the statue again. Is it still glowing eyes, or has it gone back to being just a statue?
The eyes are no longer glowing. But it does appear to have gone back to its original sitting up, smiling position.
In that case, I'm going to investigate it again.
Sure.
But not with that, because that's an actual one. That's not much better. That's 15.
You don't find any other details.
I'm going to investigate the room as one does.
Cool.
22.
Nothing of particular interest in here that has not already been mentioned.
Righty-ho. So this corridor we're standing in, does it just stop where I'm standing?
Yeah, it's just a stone wall in front of you.
I'm going to pretend to open a door. Feel around for a door handle.
You feel around for a door handle, pretend to open a door, and discover that it's just a door. It looks like a stone wall that opens up into the library.
Into the library. Which is nice, but didn't really give us anything. We just ran a big loop. All right, chaps.
There is another secret door over here.
There is, which we couldn't open. Whoops.
Yes, Niffy went over to it previously, and though you could tell that there was the outline of a door, it did not open.
I can't help but think that this room here must have something which we haven't yet identified. Is there anything... I've already investigated, didn't I?
You investigate around the room.
I want to go over and push the statue.
You give it a push, it's very heavy. It doesn't move.
Ozzy!
Aye.
Can we move this statue just in case there's anything underneath it?
Yeah, I can try.
It's very heavy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Just a thought. No buttons or switches on the statue. I've already investigated that wouldn't be the case. You've already checked for a magical aura. That wasn't the case. Look at the ceiling. Adventurers never look up.
It's just a ceiling. Stone.
Look, there's a roof. No, that's not good either. Any ideas, anybody?
I was just going to say we could, ask nicely to go through the secret door.
Well, that's... Yes. Go ahead.
Excuse me, your worshipfulness, Mishan. I have taken yet another nose and require a different hiding place through the secret door.
Nothing appears to happen.
I will attempt to take the statue's nose. I've got it.
You are unable to do so unless, of course, you are doing the fake version of taking a nose, in which case you have the thumb between your fingers.
I've got it now, so please send me to the secret door.
Nothing happens.
Oh, no, okay then.
I'm going to go back in this corridor and just investigate the walls in the corridor.
Sure.
23.
It appears the two ends, obviously one is a door, one is a secret door, but the walls garner nothing. I am just going to try
the walls are made of wall.
The walls are indeed made of wall.
Well, we can't get back the way we came because the room out of 26 is closed.
There's a lever here, right?
Yeah, go and investigate this door over here, absolutely.
There's a door there.
I thought there was a lever on this wall to open that door.
Nope.
Can we just open the door?
The door appears to be locked.
Any particular kind of key?
There's no keyhole or anything, it just won't open.
I mean, I could go around the far side and push it, I suppose.
It was locked from that side, too.
Yes, but if we do it from both sides at once.
So you go through the library, up through the original secret door, get to the other side, you can hear a muffled voice.
I'll push, you pull.
There's nothing to pull on, so you're aware.
I'm going to push anyway, because I don't know that.
It's still got a silver keyhole on your side now, Monty, and you give it a push, but it doesn't move.
Well, I'm not going to go without my guys, so I'm going to back around this way.
Can I go back into this room?
You go back into 26, which is the one that had the disappearing door. Yes.
So while he's doing that, I'm heading around here, going through 25, and it's this door which is closed, isn't it?
Yes, the door through to 26. Yes.
So on the opposite side of it now.
Yes.
I'm going to push it from my side and see if I can open it again.
Yeah, it opens.
Can I try whatever they did, whatever the correct wording was that worked to get out of this room on these walls?
26 wasn't wording, it was just... They just pretended the door was there.
Yeah, but it would. Look, we thought we did that before, and there was something specific that
I walked.
we said or did that made it work. So I just want to make sure there's not confusion in that.
I went and tried the door handle which I'd seen before I walked in, so I treated it as though the door was there, as opposed to the first time I just pretended there's a doorknob there. So I think you had to act as though the door was still there, the one you could see. At the moment, I presume you can see the door.
Through to 27, yes, it is open. In terms of pretending to open a door, it's just a stone wall. It's just a stone wall.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to total. Say, chaps, I'm going to go and see if that secret door's going to give us any joy, huh? I'll be back in a mo.
All right,
Okay.
bye.
Go over to the western corridor.
Well, I've headed into the western corridor, southern end.
Yep. You're at the southern end with that secret door that would not
Where the
open.
other
earlier.
secret door is, and I'm going to give it a push and see if it opens now.
It opens.
I'm not going to go through yet. I'm going to head back through here. It's 26. You can't see me moving. 26. I said, chaps, the other secret door is open.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to, don't forget Niffy, and we'll go and have a little look. Right, Elsie, fancy going through first?
Yeah, I'll go first if that's what I'm being asked to do.
Yep, off you go, dear boy, and keep your guard up.
Just before I step through this, Captain,
Yes.
you know that I was a human boy, not a deer boy, don't you?
Yes, just a matter of speaking.
I'd have retained any antlers, I feel like, because they're sort of bony.
It's just a way of expressing oneself where I come from.
Gotcha.
It's dear, D-E-A-R, rather than dear, D-E-E-R, you see?
Oh, well, I suppose I would be quite expensive if one was to buy me.
Indeed you would. We might try.
Right, onwards then.
You open the door.
Watch out for your antlers.
Yes.
Well, it opens up to a long corridor that has a door on the southern side, not quite at the very end, but just before it.
I will walk straight down it to the next door and try and open it.
Take it easy. Watch out for...
You do so. You open the door, and it opens up to a little 5x5 corridor with a door to the eastern side.
I will go in and try and open it.
Wonderful. It opens, and it leads
Hold on, Ozzy.
into a corridor that goes to the east and leads to another door on the eastern
Well,
side.
I can keep going, Captain. I'm doing really well here.
Hang on a sec, Ossie. Let's just have a little look at where we are, first of all. I'm going to investigate the end of this corridor.
I like these bold strategies.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I
go ahead, get the end of the corridor.
don't dislike it, actually. It's good. I'm just going to look at the end of this corridor. Natural 20. That's
Wonderful. That is definitely a stone wall.
Exactly. Complete waste of 2 set natural 20 so far. Carry on, Ossie. Just to the next door, open it, then have a look in, and we'll wait for us.
I shall do so.
Wonderful. You open up the door, and revealed unto you is a large room.
I found a room.
40 by 20.
It's 40 by 20.
The air in this chamber is thick with the
As
scent,
best I can tell, the air in the chamber is thick
with the scent of aged parchment,
with the scent of aged parchment.
polished wood, and faint traces of magic.
And there's traces of magic.
We've established that these are readings from the PAL drone.
The walls are covered in intricate murals depicting past tricksters and thieves grinning as they outwit their foes. The floor is a smooth black stone reflecting the dim glow of several enchanted lanterns.
The walls have got shit on it, and so does the floor, but it's different shit.
In the center of the room are 4 pedestals, each with a very fancy coin placed on a fancy red velvet cushion. The coin holds the symbol. Actually, you probably can't see it. You can see it from there. The coin holds the symbol of Ar-Mishan on one side, but from here you cannot see what is on the other. Alongside each of those coins appears to be a little bag.
Right. Well, see, I think I should go first here.
Righto.
So I'll step into the room.
Sure.
Nothing happens. I don't explode. No large mushrooms kill me.
Not unless you want to.
Not particularly, no. All right, chaps. Let's have a little look around, but don't touch anything until we've investigated, right?
What are you investigating?
I go to the far end pedestal.
Mhm.
Now, what did you say was on the walls? Pictures of tricksters, wasn't it?
Yeah, just intricate murals depicting past tricksters and thieves grinning as they outwit their foes. It's just nice paintings all around. Nothing specific, nothing you recognise. Every now and again, Armashan is popping up, but they aren't moving like they have been before.
Okay. I'm going to search the walls with a view to looking for secret doors.
Sure.
Can I search the pedestals?
You investigate, or yeah, you can investigate the pedestals if you wish.
Yes.
23.
23.
I'm going to be sorry when this dungeon's over because my stats are perfect for run chickens kind of stuff.
24.
24 on the pedestals. Yes, well, you can see as you look at the coin that it has Armashan on one side and a grin on the other side, and inside of those bags are a handful. You count very quickly 50 ancient coins. If you remember earlier, there was some very old-looking coins. It appears to be a bag of gold,
hoarded,
but
yes.
from a long time ago. Yes. So there's 50, at least in the one that you've looked at, but presumably the rest. Your 22 discovers that, and this is a new thing you've never seen before. Not one, but two, a double secret door
Oh,
on the western wall.
Eastern Wall.
That is the east. The eastern wall. I got that right. The entire of this temple.
So we have a coin, we have a bag of coins. Presumably all four are much the same.
Presumably.
I mean, they look like it's a sort of, maybe it's a game. You toss your coin, you bet some gold. I don't know, possibly. I'm going to tentatively pick up the coin on the pedestal at the eastern end, the one that's floating in the air.
You do so. It's larger than the average coin. And
the average coin.
Yep. And fairly weighty. You reckon it's probably, it's worth a decent chunk because it is unique, although off the top of your head you would have no idea how much. But yeah, you pick it up.
I'm going to toss it.
You do.
Nothing particularly happens.
No.
I'm going to take out one of the coins from the bag of the that's sitting next to it.
Sure. Yeah, you pull one of those coins out. It is smaller. I mean, you've seen these style of coin before. It is no different to the previous ones.
Okay. I'm going to do a ritual identify on the coin which was on the pedestal, the big one.
Okay.
But amuse yourself, chaps, without breaking anything, while I just have a quick check of this here coin.
Do you guys do anything in the meantime?
No.
What magic am I seeing?
Fair point.
In the room where the secret doors have been discovered, you see some illusory magic.
But nowhere else. You said that the lanterns were magical.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but of no particular interest.
Just explains why they're still lit after all this time.
Hmm.
In the corner, I'm sitting there with my loot. Identify the coin. Identify. What is the coin?
After your 10 minutes is up, it's a coin. It has no particular function other than being a coin.
Any idea of any feeling for value?
The identify wouldn't show that.
Fair enough, no problem.
Have you tried calling heads or tails when you flip it?
No, I'll try that now. Smiley face.
Nothing particular happens. It lands on the smile.
All right then, chaps. I think we put these in a bag and take them with us. Perhaps we'll look at them later.
I will pocket all the bags of coins.
Sure. So you end up with 200 ancient coins, and if you take the other 4 coins of Armashan.
Right then, we have these secret doors at the end here. I'm going to try and open them.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. There's obviously a door there.
Okay.
Excuse me, doors. Please, could we go through?
Nothing happens.
Right. Can I have those big coins back again? I'm going to put the 4 coins down with Amishan up on the 4 pedestals.
You do so.
Sure.
Nope. Okay, we're to look at the walls and see if there's any sort of clue on the walls for how one would open these secret doors. You said there were all sorts of pictures and things.
You're welcome to do an investigation around the walls, yeah?
I will. There's no sort of like picture of this room with somebody putting a coin into a slot in the wall. That's not too bad, and that is considerably worse. So it's 18.
18. There's nothing particular. I mean, there's a lot of just people doing tricks and stuff. There are various doors painted on, but they don't seem like wooden doors to taverns or things like that, which are being interacted with. Some secret doors around, someone opening a stone wall, someone phasing through a wall, but nothing that seems to be a hint. Well, I mean, I guess I can't say nothing seems to be a hint, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Take that as you will.
Nothing obvious.
Well, I'll give you the information. You make the assumptions.
Simple as we needed, not subjecting to be located. 50-50 0 I'm sure we've used all the clues now. Got to be some way to open these doors. There's no obvious coin slots or anything to put these coins into anywhere. No indentations in the wall.
Not that you've seen.
I shall take one of the big coins and touch it to the secret door.
You do so.
I'll take all 4 coins and touch the secret door.
You do so.
Damn it. 4 pedestals. Is there anything on the pedestal? Once you've taken the coins off, is there any marking on top of the pedestal or anything like that?
Nothing other than what would have been left by the weight of the coin. But that is easily movable. It just appears to be a soft surface.
Yeah. So if I put... It's got to be these 4 coins. 4 coins. It's 4 across.
4 candles.
4 candles. Got any O's?
Can I put the giggle bell on one of them?
You can.
Does anything happen?
Nothing appears to happen. Well, other than a slight giggle coming from the bell as you move it, but...
I'll leave it there.
And potentially that making a shiver down your spine, but nothing that you are, consequential.
I mean, I could dispel magic on these things, but I suspect all that will do is get rid of any kind of illusionary magic. It won't open the darn things. Ozzy, you're strong. Can you push it open?
Ozzy, you fall over as you go to push the door, and as you go forward, you just...
Oh, did it?
Is the door open, or has he just gone
Nope,
through the wall?
straight through the wall.
I'll pick up the giggle bell and just walk through the wall.
If I try and go through the wall, can I go through?
Yeah.
Why is it working now? Not was working before.
You walk into a rather small.
I
room
did something.
that's
We did something that
15
worked,
by
and
10.
we didn't notice. Damn it.
15 by 10, which has plenty of things sitting on a surface. There is a simple yet elegant wide-brimmed hat. There is a deck of mysterious playing cards, a small leather pouch that appears to contain a fine silvery dust. There is a pair of thin black gloves that appear to shimmer in the light. There is a seemingly ordinary pouch and a small metal bottle sealed with wax.
My cards, are they?
They are not your cards, it is a different set.
And no door or clue to a door.
Not immediately obvious.
Can I investigate the pedestal?
Yeah, you do that. I'll investigate.
There's not a pedestal, it's more of like a shelf, but like a solid out bit of the wall of stone. So it's just like a big surface, but you're welcome to investigate that whole thing.
Sure.
And I'm going to investigate for secret doors.
Sure.
27.
Nothing special about it, just stone carved into the wall, or should I say built into the wall.
Natural 20 again?
Don't find any. Well, you do find 2 secret doors, actually.
Yes.
Can I pick up the wide-brimmed hat?
Should we investigate these? I think might be a better idea. Ozzy, you can do that kind of thing, can't you? Ozzy, and because I can do identify as a ritual.
I mean, you can just say you're going to identify everything. It would take a while,
Yeah,
but
can we?
that's fine.
If we're both doing it, then it'll take.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 things, so it would take you
Half an hour.
Right. You have identified many different things. You have got in your posé shown.
Going to get my pen out and write something I can't read later. Hang on.
Or I will copy and paste it all to you.
I still need to write it down.
A hat of disguise. which is a simple yet elegant wide-brimmed hat that allows the wearer to cast disguise self at will.
That's the same as my mask. Don't wear it.
A deck of illusions, a deck of mystical playing cards that, when drawn and thrown, summon realistic illusory creatures to confuse and distract enemies. Dust of Disappearance, a small leather pouch containing fine silvery dust. When thrown into the air, it renders all creatures within 10 feet invisible for 2d4 minutes. Gloves of Thievery, a pair of thin black gloves that seem to shimmer when held up to the light. Wearing them grants a +5 bonus to sleight of hand checks and dexterity thieves' tools checks. A Bag of Tricks, grey, seemingly ordinary pouch that when a hand is dipped inside produces a random small beast that obeys the user for the day, ideal for distraction, chaos, or creative pranks. And an ever-smoking bottle, a small metal bottle sealed with wax. When unstopped, it releases a 60-foot radius cloud of thick, obscuring smoke that lingers until stopped.
Which, if any, are attunement?
Well, they're all seemingly on D&D Beyond.
I don't think any of them are achievement based. Maybe the Hat of Disguise.
The gloves are.
Maybe the Gloves of Thievery.
Gloves definitely are, because I used to have some. I don't remember which character it was, but I had some. But a dexterity-based thing would be really handy for me, I think. Better than the mask I'm currently wearing. That hat sounds like the proper version of this mask.
It doesn't say that it's attunement.
Does it not? Maybe I'm misremembering.
I mean, there's a chance I made you attune to it.
Hat of Disguise requires attunement.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It's fairly powerful, and that's the sort of thing that generally would be attunement based.
Gloves of Thievery do not.
Right, chaps. I mean, I suspect we probably want to take them back and get them checked over, just in case there's any curses. I could do getting this mask on my face at some point. Speaking of curses.
Yep. That is what you find in that room.
Neato burrito.
So there's a couple of things we haven't identified in rooms. Like there's a big long room with tapestries.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on there. We already spent a long time in there.
Yeah, and there's the room with all the beds.
Yeah, we haven't really given that a good look.
You haven't really done anything in the room beds. You kind of looked in it and went, cool, and then moved on.
So
we hate room 20.
Room 20 we have searched and searched and found nothing.
We should consider that just because a room is numbered does not necessarily mean that there is something to be found.
Correct.
This seems very treasure roomy to me.
I think
it does.
I think
the room with 6 items of treasure in it? No.
Exactly. Is there anywhere else we have not dealt?
Did one of you two? I didn't write any of those down. Did one of you two?
I wrote all of them down.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's why I placed it as well, so you could.
I would like to request the Gloves of Thievery because they could also help with my tinkering. Because sleight of hand is what I use for a lot of that.
Okay, I suppose so then, because all my skills are based on dexterity, but that's fine.
I would like to request that I get something from that is not perishable, because I know that me as Joe, I will never use it. I will be that guy who's like, we can't buy this. I have to save it until exactly the right moment, and that moment will never come, and I'll never use it.
Too good to use syndrome.
So something like the hat or the bag or the ever-smoking bottle or something that does not perish or run out, because I just will never use it.
No, I have exactly the same problem. If I have something that you use once and you never use it again, it will be there when we finish the campaign.
We can also switch around the gloves.
Uh,
How many cards are in the deck of illusions, Alex?
That is a very good question that I did not work out prior, so I will do it.
Is there a thing on the
randomly.
item that says deck
I believe
of?
it's a deck of a deck of Founder's Treasure is usually missing this number of cards, so it has in it 34 minus 17 cards.
Okay, Rowan, do you want to just make a note of that with your notes?
Sure.
Hat of Disguise, the problem I have there is I don't have any attunement slots left.
Don't you already have a bunch of stuff that can disguise you as well?
Exactly. Well, I've got my
like
my
3 or
suit.
4 different methods.
No,
Yeah.
I've got not really. I've got
The
my
shift
suit,
weave. You've got the mask that you've worked out is cursed.
which
You change at midnight every day.
So
But
the
you
shift
also
key-
have that gem that you could use if you needed something else to attune to.
Yeah, you have the fantastical gem or
fabulous gem.
Fabulous gem. So what are you doing?
I guess we're leaving.
Well, is there any room we want to have a last look in before we buzz off?
I've honestly had like a really rough time here, so I just want to go back to the ship and back to my bedroom and like sleep. I'm so tired, you guys.
What do you think we should have a look at, Niffy?
She says, I think we should get out of here because I'm bored.
She's standing there.
I think we should have one last look at the room with the beds and then we'll buzz off. And this is
Room 19, the large room with many beds.
If we're attacked by something, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, this has lost half my equipment, which is very annoying.
Wait, 19, Alex.
Yep.
That room we covered that with my run around, find secret doors.
You did do a find secret doors. You did not investigate or look at anything in particular. You just kind of walked in, saw if there's any doors, and just knocked off.
We did that with 33 and 19, so we should assume. I think we did it with 20 as well.
We did.
Yes?
You've done a lot with 20. I don't remember specifically.
So we should assume that if there is anything to be found in 33, 20, and 19, it is within the rooms.
19, sure, 19.
Because as far as we know, we've done everything that we can to find secret doors. And magic says that there weren't any.
We do also have all the numbers up to 34. If there may be a 35, but up to 34, we have all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think we found all the rooms now. It's just a matter of the rooms we haven't dealt with. Whether we have one last thought before we go. Right, that's it. We're out.
We found the treasure room. I'm pretty content.
What about the extra secret treasure room? Did we look for secret doors within the treasure room?
Did you look for secret doors in the secret doors?
We did, because we're in the extra secret treasure room. The normal treasure room was the one with the 200 ancient gold coins that'll probably sell for a good bit.
Oh, it didn't even occur to me that would be a treasure room.
Yeah, the super secret one is the one we're currently standing in.
Well, I mean, in the treasure room you're in now, you did find 2 secret doors.
Yes, we did.
It was the one we took to get into it.
Yes.
Hence the super secret treasure room. I'm going to equip the gloves of thievery.
Wonderful. They require attunement, yes?
Nope.
No, those ones don't. Okay, sure.
Lovely.
As you put them on, you slip them onto your hand, and they just resize themselves to your... In fact, actually, you've probably got, like, one less finger, so just one of the fingers just, like, back into itself.
Well, I'd have to take off my 2 giant chunky gloves that are already on there that are, like, armor size, and these, I'm assuming, are thin as my fucking drawing glove.
A bit thicker than that. They're more like driving gloves.
Okay, well, still thin.
Yeah, definitely thin.
So they'll go on underneath that.
Yep.
And,
yeah, that's fine. No reason why that wouldn't work.
Wonderful. And that'll give me +5 to sleight of hand and lock picking.
Yeah. As you put them on. No.
It certainly couldn't continue.
It would be very on brand.
It would. I'm so excited to leave this and not fear for my life at every decision I make.
Well, so you wanted to do one last look at
the room 20. What was it? 19.
19. Fine. You trundle your way out with no particular difficulty. Make your way over to room 19. What are you going to do inside of there?
We're going to wait for the captain as he went to room 20 first.
Let's start off by looking at the beds. Are any of the beds different from any of the beds? Are they all the same?
They're all not identical, but they are all obviously the same. But they're all unusable.
They're all falling apart.
It's long since usable. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, rows of simple stone bed frames, once adorned with plush bedding, now lie bare. Their linen is long rotted away. Some still have scraps of fabric clinging to them, remnants of a long life. Blah 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 blah. The occasional footlocker or storage chest somewhat remains. Their locks rusted and their wood warped and rotted from time.
So the first thing to do then is have a rummage in the various footlockers.
Give me an investigation. Anyone who wants to, or assistances, helpings.
I shall assist.
I will assist. Oh,
Can you double assist?
I'll do it myself.
Fine, I'll do it myself. Niffy will assist you.
Oh, yay! Natural 20.
Oh, I got 23,
Okay.
but that wasn't an actual 20.
For 29.
I want to tell you a bunch of stuff found. Gradual DCs. The highest, 24, which you would not have found
Yippee!
if not for the natural 20 that I shall give you alongside the 23. So you find a set of ancient prayer beads, an ancient silver ring, a trick coin, so two-headed coin, ancient worn dice set, a puzzle box, an acolyte's diary, and an inscribed coin, which you don't know the values of them, but
Inscribed coin was the last one you said?
inscribed corn.
Yeah, inscribed coin.
Yeah, they have some descriptions to go alongside. I will send those over and I will read them out for the podcast as you read them. So, a set of ancient prayer beads, smooth stone beads carved with tiny, almost unreadable inscriptions of prayers. Ancient silver ring, a plain, unadorned ring, possibly once used as a symbol of devotion. A trick coin, a two-headed coin, slightly enchanted to always land on the opposite side when flipped. Ancient worn dice set, the edges of the dice are rounded from excessive use. The 6 always seems to come up slightly more often than it should. A puzzle box, a small wooden cube covered in interlocking patterns. It can be manipulated into different shapes, but the full solution remains elusive. Acolyte's diary, a record of daily life within the temple containing details about the tricks played within its halls, the hierarchy among the acolytes, and some half-finished puzzles, and an inscribed coin, a tarnished breast coin with an inscription around its edge in Perwelven. When translated, because one of you is able to, it reads, "The greatest trick is the one you never see coming."
Nice.
And you found all of it.
Yay!
Please, could I have those prayer beads? Making our souvenir.
Yeah, sure. I will cross it off my list, assuming you're adding it to yours.
Yes. I'm not adding it to my character sheet, I'm adding it to my lore sheet.
Actively creating lore. And Rowan, you can put a green tick in this room if you wish.
Yippee!
We'll worry about who hates what later.
Do you know, for ages, I thought in room 7 that was like a sun symbol or something, but looking at you made a butthole, didn't you? You made room 7 into a butthole.
No, it's a sun symbol because that's what the symbol for inspiration is on the character sheet.
Okay. But it does look a little bit like a butthole.
That does remind
It
me.
does.
I found a couple of valuable items into room 7's pit and not.
You've thrown one valuable item into there.
So I did throw my gem in. I threw my cards in. Good. That's right. Yeah, I didn't.
Um,
So is there something we can sacrifice in there? Because I've lost my cards. I would like to get something back, and I have a feeling that if we give something else.
the last thing we got, though, was something specific for this area. So if we sacrifice something else, I think we're just going to get something that'll help us in this area, which I'm pretty sure we're done with at this point.
Yes, exactly. But on the other hand, I say I don't want to sacrifice anything I can't live without. But at the same time, I don't want to have lost my deck of cards for no reason, because they were quite useful.
Well, we have a new deck of cards if you want that.
Or you can just throw that one down.
I'm inclined to throw something down. I just don't know what.
Just chuck yourself down there.
I was toying with that idea, flying
What
down.
are you
there.
talking about? You know.
I totally would and was going to, but I am through making risky decisions because all of my risky decisions are the ones that go bad. Here, at least.
Oh, what's that? Pumpkin wants to go down the hole. Well, if Pumpkin wants to.
What's that, Pumpkin? There's a girl stuck in room number 7?
I'm sure Niffy throws you a particularly bad look. I mean, as you go back to the main room, Pumpkin appears to have woken up from the snooze that they had, didn't know where anyone was, so is just like seemingly is doing nothing. But you can see lots of wet patches all over the walls where probably Pumpkin's just been licking the walls for no particular reason.
I'm sure if they woke up and didn't know where anyone was, much like cats do, they'd be making the most distressing sound that they
As you
could.
get closer, there's just this noise.
Yeah, I thought when you were saying about wet patches that we were going down the fluffy route.
Oh, no. This isn't Fine Steve.
Pumpkin has hidden his zip for his little scale suit.
Oh,
It's just,
no.
I'm sure as you get back, and as Niffy walks in, just lands on top of her.
I didn't know how to leave this room. The doors don't work.
Are we done in here then? Do we think, or
I think I say the
No,
only thing I'm just toying with something to throw into the pit to see if I can't make it spit something out, so I haven't lost my deck of cards for no reason. But I don't know what. I would throw this blasted mask in if I could get it off.
Oh, well, if you wait until tomorrow, I can take that off you and you can throw it in.
Oh, we could do that. We could have a rest, I suppose.
We still have some time to spend, because by the rules of the game, we've already long rested like pretty soon.
Yeah.
Like it's only been like a couple hours.
It's only been a few hours. I mean, with the amount of time you spend all over, it's probably been like 4 hours since you long rested.
Mm.
Got another 20, I think it would be before you could. Or it would be 12 hours, whatever, you get the point.
Well, we'd get the benefits every once, so 8 hours before that, so 16 hours total. So in 12
Every 8
hours,
hours,
yeah.
fine.
It's tricky because I don't know what I've got because half of my items aren't showing up.
I feel like everyone else is just leaving whilst you're still in the hall room.
I'm inventorying. I have a clipboard. I pull it out. I'm like, okay, we got this. That should be around this much. Okay, we can sell that. That one might be useful later. Maybe we should keep that one.
You did get a lot of stuff.
We did.
We did. Fine, okay.
The Giggle Bell, that's definitely cursed. Not a doubt in my mind.
Are there
maybe
any
we can
of the
trick
cursed
someone into
items?
buying that.
Any of the cursed items we don't want, apart from this mask, which I can't get off.
Well, the rest of them was just kind of assuming that they're cursed. We don't know for certain.
What was it? There was the bell.
I've got the shifting skeleton key.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If he's got a coin.
Oh yeah, actually that's true. That was a wild magic coin, wasn't it?
Yes, but Purdy was very keen to hold on to that, so I think if you took it from her and chucked it down, she'd be very upset with you.
Yeah.
She did use it as well, and nothing cursed asterisks happened.
Well, that's why I've got this mask stuck to my face.
Is it? That's a separate thing.
Because, yeah, but
because you were high, you decided to put it on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, see, that's kind of connected to the coin, but that was at the end of the day your decision. You were just intoxicated.
It was, absolutely it was. I didn't have anything. I've already thrown all half my money and my only spare items down.
You know, at the end of all this, we might have enough for an upgrade to the ship.
Yes, all right. All right, fine, no problem. There's one last thing I can throw down there.
Best up.
No.
Not again.
I can fly, so I'm going to just sort of jump in and sort of hover my way down. And if I see anything that looks remotely dangerous, I'm going to leave.
Well, as you lean over the edge, considering what would happen if you were to jump, or in your case, fly inside, you can't help but be overtaken by a sense of calm. You hear the whispers in the room pick up as a wind starts to try and push you downwards inside of the hole, but not so aggressively that it tips your balance. When you do start to enter the hole, it says jump, but obviously you're not, the wind feels as though it stops. And as you go down, you can feel your body start to go slightly numb as the darkness takes over. Would you consider that enough danger to turn around?
If I'm starting to go numb, I'm going to leave.
Okay. In which case you fly out. You can see that the hole, you're still calm, and you can feel the wind gently pushing downwards, but not stopping you. You are more than able to exit, and as you get up to the top, the whispers calm down again as you stand on the side.
Oh my god, you're not wearing trousers.
That's okay, I'm see-through anyway. Right. Let's not push our luck then. Let's head home.
Alright?
Alright.
You exit out of the under part of the temple, but into the upper part of the temple, and then I assume out of the front door.
I would sort of confidently go up the steps, get to the top of the steps, and stand there looking blank because I've got no idea which way we came in.
Yes, you go out and you're in a temple.
Where are we?
Yes, here's where. Wait.
You come out of where it says 1, about here. You have to slip through a tiny little crack to get out because it obviously didn't open properly, and you're in this kind of
Alex,
temple style. Yeah?
can you send us back to the other one real quick?
Yep.
Guys, where's room 5?
I don't know, you said that you counted them.
I assumed that the basement started at 6.
Well, unless the
Which
one we
it
come
might.
into is the one we come into room 5?
There's no number on this. Where's 5?
Uh,
Where's 5?
I mean, we shouldn't look for it because we don't know that the room that as characters don't know that the rooms are numbered. So we've no reason to suspect anything. My assumption is that when Alex was making this, the main safe room is room 5.
Well, after you answer this bit, I was going to go through all of the things and just reveal all
You're,
the secrets.
you're right. There would be no reason for us to suddenly go.
Come on, Rowan. We can't be metagamers.
We can.
Dungeons, bring it out of me. I'm sorry.
It'll be popping out here and Pumpkin, wherever the hell Pumpkin
And
is.
I'll go, right, chaps, where the heck is the exit?
Well, there's an obvious door.
Yeah, but just
Right,
because there's an obvious door.
That's surrounded by grung. Or no. What were they? Bullywog.
Bullywugs.
That want our skin.
You went far away from the Bullywugs. Okay. So you went away. I'm going to pop you back to this, not because that's where you've appeared, but because you won't want to look at this. As you have any questions about things and stuff about the temple?
Where's 5? Where's 5?
Yeah, 5 just is that entrance bit. I just didn't put a number.
God damn it.
Nailed it.
God damn it. Okay.
So,
Okay. I
Very
feel
well
better.
noticed, though, Rowan. Very well noticed.
the first
I
question-
remember that it started on 6, and when I went back up there, I got a sinking feeling.
So, 5 that you go into. Let's see. So I have 4 columns, or 5 columns of the room name. I can give you the names of the rooms actually, yeah, because you didn't get those. That first, which is 5, is Hall of the Lost Name. I've got the description, the features, the secrets, and the treasure. The secrets in that one. So you didn't do any investigations in here, evidently, and there was a loose stone which you could have found an alcove, and behind it there was the long since decomposed skeleton of a rodent. And also you might have found at a DC 20 careful examination of the wall reveals a few remaining words in a pro-elven script, though much of it is illegible. It appears to reference a test or a trial further within the temple. The weeping pool, yeah, you worked all of that out. It was as soon as you touched it, you had a wisdom saving throw and you would have fallen in.
Oh, that's number 6, is it?
Yeah, that's 6.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, okay, yeah.
7, known as the Pit of Offerings. I'm sure you're curious.
I am.
So-
I put my cards in there.
I'll read out the features. So the pit reacts to offerings, and I have different tiers of offerings. No value. At first, you drop the item into the hole. There is no reaction, but after a few seconds, there is a gentle breeze that comes out of the opening alongside a gentle, unintelligible whisper. Item of low value. As you drop an item in there, there is a rush of air, a warming sense, and you get inspiration. An item of moderate value is where you get your... So all of these, you also get the previous benefits. You get your +2 to perception and investigation checks whilst in the temple. So those have obviously disappeared now. An item of high value, you would get... So an explosion of magical energy, lots of wind, and everyone in the room gains +1 to whatever skill they wish. This can only be redeemed once. Other offerings do not create any of that
Permanently or while in the temple?
permanently.
Yeah.
And an item of incredible value. These are obviously generic, and I would have worked out as we go. You would have, obviously, lots of wind and all that. A power is thrown into the bodies of everyone. You will get 1 feat of your choice.
Yeah.
Plus all the previous benefits.
Holy shit.
Out
Out of curiosity, what is considered incredible value?
I would have decided on the time, but something very, very expensive, or something that you would consider to be basically game changing in terms of not having it anymore. It's more kind of deciding as you do it, because obviously that's not really a measurable thing.
Flying boots. So when I threw the cards in, I didn't get anything.
I'm not done yet. You put the cards in because you can't redeem the same thing twice, and you put in another moderate thing. So if you put in another moderate thing, I would have counted that up to a high value thing. If you put in a cursed item, it would have been underwhelming. You would have heard some whispers that turn into screams, and you would have gained 2 levels of exhaustion plus.
Yeah, right, good.
Damn.
And if you had gone in as you were, you got that numb, it would have eventually turned to complete numbness. No sight, no feeling, just your mind floating in the abyss, and you'd hear Amishan talking to you. And I have a little script here that's basically saying, it's been a while since someone sacrificed themselves to me. I almost started to believe that I had been forgotten. Because obviously this is one of the first rooms you come to. Tell me, traveller, what did you expect would happen here? You are not devout to me, so what would lead you to fall so easily into sacrifice? Well, my power has become weak over the years, so I can only offer you one thing. knowledge. This temple was made to test those devout to me, but you will do just fine. Watch your step, as things are never as they seem, and when you think you found the reward at the end, look closer. Perhaps there is more to see. And then you would be flung back out the hole with speed and take some damage.
Fair enough.
And was that the second treasure room?
Yep.
Okay.
The Hall of... What have I called that one? The Hall of Watching Eyes, that 8. Yeah, it's fine. You got that. You worked it out pretty... I mean, I gave you some kind of extra stuff, but you worked that one out fine. The Silent Archive, yeah, it was a secret. The reason it didn't work at first is because it needed to be given willingly rather than whispered. The Hall of Artifacts, just a load of fungi. You found all of that stuff. It was just some nice items in there and traps on the floor that you eventually worked
Are
them
they
all out.
nice items? Are they nice items?
11 was basically, if you'd done nothing, you didn't get anything from it, is where you lit the brazier and you had to do a big fight, which I expected you to run from. If you had left, it would have ended the fight, but you decided to fight through it rather impressively. But there was no advantage or disadvantage. So, well, there was a disadvantage, I guess, but there was no advantage to taking that fight.
Wait, so the answer was do nothing in there?
Yep, there's nothing to do there. It didn't benefit. You gained nothing from that.
Not every room is going to have something.
12.
Experience.
12. Where the frick is 12?
Where is 12?
12 was the ritual room.
Ah, yes, of course, it's in the corner.
I see.
Yeah, you worked all that. You got the benefit. Random things happened if you did it wrong. You did the ritual. You got your staff. I don't know why at this point I've skipped over. 13 is now those little rooms. These are just... you worked all that out as well. The beds were triggers. 3 beds. There was a click that unlocked room 18, but it was obviously broken. You already had it open. The reason it was a broken lock that was already open is because I'd completely forgotten that 18 shouldn't have been open until you'd worked out how to open it. So 4 beds, it opens the secret panel. 5 beds, the beds burst into flames and you'll get hurt. 6 beds, there's a gentle whiff of wind and you gain 44 health. 6 beds is all of them, and the one in 18 as well.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Otherwise, that would be hilariously mean. 18 with the Fungus Man. You worked that out. You fought him. I did change that fight because you weren't there, Joe. It was going to just be a hard fight. You were against an Eldritch Lich, but I changed it so that they had to rip out the heart and kill that. Rip out the heart and it kills them because that was more suited to not having the tank.
Yeah.
I
did a good impersonation of a tank.
You tried.
For about a quarter of a second before I got stabbed with the heart.
Not by choice.
Thrown in space, and I said Eldritch Lich. 19.
Okay,
You
what?
found all the stuff in there. The Acolyte room. 20. The Communal Hall. There was nothing particularly of interest in there. 21. The Library. You worked that out. I believe you got... Oh, no, you didn't get one of the things. So you found the secret tunnel. I believe you found the secret storage compartment. So you found a load of books.
Yeah.
Actually, did you get the Tome of Clear Thought and the Tome of Leadership and Influence? I don't believe you did.
No,
You didn't. You didn't find those. That was Investigation DC 25. Very high, because those are quite powerful things. So you didn't find those. You did find the scrolls, which were for the trials, which is rooms 22 through to 27. I believe you got 5 of them?
We got 5
5
out
or
of 6.
So I'm going to read the first 2 words and you tell me which one isn't the one you got. There's the order. Silence is greed will, 50-50, lots of triggers, and simple answer.
It's greed will, I think.
Okay, so trial 3 was greed will be your failure here. Don't submit and your door will appear. So trial 1 was the order seems to be the key, but maybe that's not meant to be. Because 22, yeah, that's what we wanted to move to anyway. 22, yeah, it was just absolutely random. It didn't matter which ones you stood on. I rolled the dice. If it was below or above 10, it was whether or not you succeeded. 23, silence is needed. That's for sure. Much easier when you don't touch the floor. You went straight across that one. You worked that one out really quickly, and I'm proud of you. So the moment you enter, magical pulse through the room, causing every footstep, breath, and movement to echo unnaturally loud. The room itself amplifies even the fainted noise, but you didn't even get to that because you were like, I'm just going to fly across. So any noise above a whisper triggers an invisible pressure waves, causing a laughter to echo through the room, vigorously pushing all participants back to the start. And I said, sneaking is not enough. Participants must find a way to cross without making any noise at all. Solutions could include floating, levitating, or magically silencing themselves, or using thrown objects to misdirect the magical effect. And getting to the other side, you got the gold lock. 24, trial 3, which would have been greed will be your failure here. Don't submit and your door will appear. Of course, the trick on that one was that the main door wasn't the door. You had to find the secret door. And then there was a bunch of secret doors that run to 25, which was trial 4. 50-50, all seems even, but relying on luck will leave you grieving. Again, you worked that one out really quickly. So the whole point was that if you had just gone heads or tails on that coin, it will always have landed on the opposite of what you chose.
Yeah.
So, breaking the game, to succeed, the participant must realize the deception and either refuse to play, acknowledging that the trial itself is a trick the coin by choosing both heads and tails at the same time, e.g. flipping their own coin and declaring the opposite, physically interfere with the coin, such as catching it midair or altering it in some way, proving they can manipulate fortune rather than simply accept it, and then winning, of course, succeeded. Yours was kind of within there. I liked the heads I win, tails you lose, so
yeah.
more than successful. Trial 5, lots of triggers can be located, but stopping and thinking is underrated. I mean, yeah, the whole point was that the door never disappeared. So that one was, the door still exists. The door's illusion, but so is the absence of the door. It's both there and not there. So effectively, to break the illusion, you either needed to disbelieve the illusion, realize the door was never gone, just obscured, which is what you did, discovering an unconventional approach, such as walking backwards towards where the door was, throwing something at the wall, or closing their eyes and stepping forwards with faith, which you were so close to doing. I was very careful with my words. You said, I closed my eyes and poke it with the sword, and I said, you hit something solid.
Yeah.
That was the door.
Which is the door. Yeah.
It was the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Or applying magic or heightened perception, such as detect magic and true sight. Your detect magic, of course, showed that it was an illusion. And then trial 6, simple answer will be needed, but the god you serve here should be heeded. You locked into the tricks, but there was a couple ways you could have got through that. A clever lie. So I wrote some examples. So a clever lie. So you either make an outrageous but convincing reason why you should pass. I wrote some examples of, I've already been through, I just forgot something and had to come back. Or I'm not trying to pass, I was actually sent to replace you, you can go now. Those would have been perfectly reasonable. Word tricks, you could have done like, what do you think? Why do you think you deserve to get past? You could say something like, I don't think I deserve to pass, but you do, and I'm following your lead. Or I deserve to pass because you wouldn't be asking if I didn't. A bold act of trickery, instead of answering, the participant mimics the statue's voice, trying to trick it into letting them through. Or a misleading gesture, the participant distracts the statue with a fake point of interest, pretending to see something behind it or making it look away. So you could have certainly just gone over there and run away. Which I half expected you to do, to be honest.
I like that, yeah.
28 was the treasure room with the ancient things in it. Then you had the secret treasure room, which you found, which was a DC 22, so be glad that you had high rolls.
How did the secret doors open?
The intent of walking through, or the intent of opening them. Because you were poking and manipulating and investigating it, but as soon as he was like shoving it, he just went straight through it. 30, the armory, you worked that one out. It was, pen is mightier than the sword. The wine cellar, you worked out there were just bottles of blood. The cold storage, you worked out pretty much everything. The only thing was, if you'd investigated the room, you'd have seen there are scratches, small claw-like markings run along the stone frame in the entrance. But that would not have led to anything, it's just to freak you out. 33, the tapestry corridor, you hyper-focused on that. There was nothing in there. It's just it's just a pretty corridor. It was not intended to trick you, it was just a pretty corridor. But you were really focused in. I can understand why, but that's all it was. And then the gardens were pretty, and then there was a thing to fight, and the key up in the canopy. That's everything.
And that's it. Yeah, so that.
I have looked up this Eldritch Lich thing, because I wasn't familiar with it. I'm really glad that I missed that session and you changed it, because I genuinely think that if we'd fought it,
Quite powerful.
we could have had a party wipe.
I mean, you're never going to have a party wipe, but it's quite powerful. I mean, I tend not to, especially with the really powerful ones, it automatically go for the really powerful things, but it's a fun, powerful thing to attack.
They got some power words of kill in there, or
Yeah,
No.
So I specifically for a lot of fights don't use things that have power word kill or don't use power word kill because I don't really like the spell. I think it's very boring and takes a lot of fun out of the game. Like, I get that it's just very powerful, point and you're dead, but like, where is the fun? If one of you's under 100 and I go, you're dead now.
No, its
Great.
its
Oh, I
spellcasting
really win.
Rowan is fairly limited, but its action, so its multi-attack is it either casts a spell or does a tentacle attack, and then it uses something called Psychic Whisper twice. The tentacle attack not only does a fuckload of damage, 50 damage.
That's the one he used
on average.
Yeah.
That's the one he used.
what
That dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark instantly.
Did you then have to make con saves?
We had to make a no. You had to make a different
No,
save, didn't you?
I died, but then I got better.
Oh yeah, so I switched
Yeah.
what happened because it was fungal rather than it being a lich. So what it has is you could be poisoned. What I had for you is you went down and then you came back up with a confusion as to you had to roll, but you were confused as to seeing the illusion of the lich, or well, in that case, the priest still around. I didn't do it was attacking and using Psychic Whisper twice because Psychic Whisper is kind of powerful. I used Psychic Whisper once.
Well, just this tentacle attack, it's got this poison effect. And then it works like contagion, where if you fail it 3 times, because you keep making it at the end of your turns, something happens. In this case, you insta die and become a gibbering mouther that the lich controls. And the Psychic Whisper that it does twice a turn after it does something else is effectively a spell that does 25 on average damage and then stuns you until the end of the lich's next turn. So it could, theoretically, against the 4 of us, stun me, stun Purdy, tentacle Rowan, and then leave Mark. And then the next turn, do the same thing again, but targeting Mark instead of Rowan, stunning me and Purdy again, and then just waiting until you 2 die and turn into gibbering mouthers, and then doing the same thing on us.
It wouldn't have, because that's boring. It also, as a reaction, can just, like, if it takes damage, just teleport 60 feet away.
Yes. Yeah.
As a reaction.
Instead, it was moving 10 feet a turn?
Yes, it only moved 10 feet a turn. I downpowered it because you didn't have your tank.
I'm glad about that.
Even with me, like, for 4
With you, it would have been
people-
harder, but it probably still wouldn't have been. I mean, you never really see the stats that I use because very rarely do I use the stats directly how they are. It's very vibes-based.
Yeah, if you were doing this based on what is here,
Oh yeah,
if
you'd need
none
to
of
be,
us got stunned
13,
or
14
taken out
or higher.
instantly, which, I mean, I've only got 68 max health, so I've got to assume that the rest of you have less than that.
Aid was active, so I currently have 64.
So it's got 165 health. So the 4 of us wailing on it with all of our most powerful stuff straight away would have done a lot of damage, but I don't think it would have done that much.
We would have needed to go like full blast right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd have had to have recognized the threat, which we almost certainly wouldn't have done.
Yep.
Well, I didn't.
Well, like I said, well, yeah, you didn't get the chance. With literally any of these fights, a little meta insight, it's very vibes based, which is why I tend to try and avoid telling you what it is. Not because I'm like, oh, I don't want them to know all the secrets. I don't really care. It's because I don't want you to lock in on what it technically can do. I very much move it towards what would be proper. Because
I get it.
like
For,
I said,
for terrorists, I definitely looked at higher stat monster blocks and downsized.
they're more fun as well. And like I said, things like power word kill, a DM can at any point, as we all know, just be like, you're dead now. But it's just so not fun. Like, I could fuck around and stuff. And to be honest, I try to avoid doing it now. As I'm listening back to C2, this is kind of turned into a mini talk, so we'll get back to the game in a second. As I'm listening to C2, there's points where I am very strictly sticking to rules, and I'm like, these are wrong vibes. These are the wrong vibes. You should be saying yes to some of these things that you're saying no to. But I was learning. This was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I've DM'd for 4 years since. Anyway,
so
you exit out of the temple, back into the fresh night air, as it would be now. In fact, actually, you're fairly far into the north, so I reckon the suns are setting. It's late into the evening, maybe 8-9 o'clock kind of time, and yeah, the stars of the rainbow belt are starting to become visible. The suns are setting in the distance, and you can hear many a creature and animal, crickets, birds, night songs, making quite a calming sound in this rainforest. A little gentle patter of rain that isn't quite hitting you because of the large canopy above.
Oh, freedom.
Well done, chaps. That was very, very good.
We've got so much stuff to sell now. We need to figure out how much these ancient coins are worth.
And do we have some bits and pieces that some of the Chambers might want to use and stuff like that? And I'm quite keen to get this mask off my face as well.
I don't know that any of us know an ancient coin dealer, though. I don't know one.
No, we could find historians or something, though. There are a lot of the collectors out there. I spent some time in Moonhaven, and they've got some very rich families that love to collect old things, so the market's definitely there.
To kick in there, that would also be particularly poignant, knowing that though you do have the paperwork to sell stuff to shops, if you went around selling a lot of stuff to a lot of shops, it switches from this is cargo to suspicion, which you'd be aware of. So black markets like the pirate island you went to, or things like Moonhaven, where there's people that will certainly not alert any people because they know they shouldn't be having them, would be a correct path, if you can call that correct.
Yeah, the appropriate path, perhaps.
A subtle path.
Also, we are close to Moonhaven, so maybe a nice place to stop by to get rid of some of this stuff.
I thought you wanted to go visit your mother.
Well, hilariously enough, the time I spent in Moonhaven was pretty soon after I left the Grove, so it's close by.
What do you want to do, Captain?
I was actually just trying to remember where I come from.
You come from Farron Major, a town called Breitling, which is just to the west of Oris.
I am from the town of Fingleton.
You are from the town of Fingleton. So, if you've got the map open, you are currently, so you should see where Marrow is. You are currently just to the southwest of that, out a little bit. You're about where so you see there's two layers of color to the water out from Marrow. There's like light, and then slightly darker, and then even darker, and then the darkest is where it says Pentastic Ocean.
I can see that, yes.
Yes, you're on the second to last darkest to the southwest of Marrow. So not quite in the Pentastic Ocean, or you are in the Pentastic Ocean, but you're not quite where it says that.
Yeah.
Sure about that. You would be very aware. Obviously, you can see Moonhaven is in South Floari. Yes, you were saying you are from Farron Major, which is Breitling. You know that Ozzy is from Dina Faro. Fingleton, just to the south of Demira Orlando.
Yeah, I see it.
Niffy, I don't remember what they have said, so I won't speak for them, and I don't quite remember where you were dealing with Rowan.
It was, I believe, to the northwest of Moonhaven. There's a grove called the Warm Heart.
Sure, which isn't on there, but...
Yes.
Yeah. And I was from, as you say, just outside Oris and Farron Major.
And you'd be very aware that Moonhaven...
But I worked...
Well, I was going to say, it's been a little while since you were in Moonhaven, but you'd be fairly aware of what Moonhaven is like at the moment, because obviously you've been there within the last... close enough within time.
Probably been a couple of years.
I ended up working out of Moonhaven on the ships.
Yeah. You'd be aware that Moonhaven, as of recent... is becoming less and less of like an active town in the sense of people and living, and more of a cargo town. I mean, 2 years ago, it was going that way. Nowadays, you've heard rumor that it is very silent. There's like the rich people that live there, the big houses. There is a community. It is still a city, a large town. It's not officially a city. But it is safe for sure, but relatively boring. People are quiet, not much goes on there. It's mostly, not officially, not legally, a safe haven for the rich people that are there. You are very aware of the Montgomery Cartwright Corporation, the MC Corporation, who have a gigantic wine business that has transferred into a cargo business. There's a massive dock of both airships and ships that come in through the river, although the ships that go in the river, less, because it's difficult to get them that whole way. So mostly airships that deliver cargo all over the world. Massive corporation. There's a lot of work there in the cargoes, in the docks. Don't know how much you've vaguely mentioned it that you worked there, Monty.
Monty, yes. After the things took a turn for the worse.
Well, I don't know what you said to the crew.
Probably wouldn't have said anything particularly. He was when he met Niffy, it was on board a ship that he was a fourth officer on, because he'd been working for MCC for a while.
Yeah, so you'd be aware that he worked on a cargo ship of the MC Corporation, and so you'd be fairly aware because you'd be the most recent.
Exactly. So I would be in and out of.
Well, no, so you wouldn't have actually been going in and out of Moonhaven that often. You would have gone back there every now and again, but the ships go out for months and months and months and months on end, transporting cargo from lots of different places. They only really go back for special stuffs, repairs, updates, stuff changing. Like it would be months worth of traveling before they go back. So every now and again, you'd head back.
Absolutely. Looking at my dates and things, Monty would have worked on board the MCC cargo ships for 5 years before meeting Nephalia on board one of them, and that was the voyage that ended up with him having his little. Yeah,
so you'd have seen in those 5 years that the town has got more and more silent. It's an aging population, lots of rich people, barely any adventurers going through there. There isn't a guild in Moonhaven. There's barely even a guard in Moonhaven, but there is basically no crime either.
Until we get there. Absolutely.
And you'd also be aware of rumors and things that most of the businesses that are being run there are all being absorbed. Whether there's an exaggeration or not, you don't know, but it seems the MCC is sort of slowly taking over all of the rich people's corporations, becoming a mega corporation.
Yeah. Okay.
Going by Yensid.
No, that's a different universe.
So, chaps, we have a certain amount of booty from that little foray into the dungeon.
We do, and I can think of one company that would likely be buying.
Oh, really? Which one?
Montgomery Cartwright Corporation.
Yes, I have some experience.
They're like the major buyer in Moonhaven.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, do they buy a lot of old coins and stuff?
They buy things that are rare and hard to come by.
They do, but I would rather not sort of see any of their people. Mind you, I suppose if I was disguised, so they wouldn't recognize me. I don't know. Perhaps it'd be all right. I've had experience with a lot of the people at the MCC in Moonhaven.
Oh, I've had experiences, but I don't think they'll remember me.
Well, I might be able to make use of one of these disguising things. Like at the moment, they wouldn't recognize me because I look like you.
Oh, yeah, you do. We could also see my mom first.
Well, that'd be jolly nice. Yes, yes.
But also, like, there's not really, like, a dock where my mom is, so we probably would have to, like, land in Moonhaven or something. Or, like, an empty field nearby.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
You want to land in an empty field with our ship?
I mean, it would be like oh, you know what? Right, we're a seafaring vessel.
And you're seafaring, sailed.
We would have to land in Moonhaven.
You would be painfully aware that transferring your ship to an airship would take somewhere minimum of 1 million gold pieces. Minimum.
We're on our way there. We're on our way.
That would be like the most basic, slowest of airships. It would in fact be cheaper to buy an airship than it would be to convert an airship.
Perhaps we'll find one.
I'm not leaving my baby behind. If we're going airship, we're converting this one.
Well, you know that there's two parts that you can get individually, but two parts that make an airship or make a normal ship into an airship. There are the engines on the back, and some seafaring ships do have those engines on the back, but they do not inherently allow you to fly. And then there's the hover engines, which sit on the bottom of the ship, which allow you to go upwards. Both of which are very expensive. There's lots of different choices, different powers, different specs, and then a lot of the time they then remove the sails because they're just in the way and they're not needed anymore.
were that in our future, I'm sure the gods would will it.
And of course, if we happen to come across a wrecked ship that had the bits, I'm sure you can fix them.
Well, depends. They're kind of usually pretty fragile bits that if they wreck, then they're harder to restore.
Oh.
And I also don't have like a whole lot of experience with them. I've mostly worked at seafaring docks.
I have every confidence in you. But I was going to say, we have these, apart from the items we are aware of, the hat and the cards and so forth, we also have these other items which we're not quite so sure about. I know Nunu has her little toy. Not sure how I feel about that. Her coin.
Which one? Oh,
That's
the coin? Leave that in. If she'll get high sometimes, maybe she'll blow up the ship and I'll cry. But,
yes, exactly.
Are you saying all this whilst you're walking back towards the ship?
Yeah, exactly. Which one?
yeah.
Because you have to go down a big cliff, if you remember. But you've got
this-
ladles and things, and it'll
Yeah,
be
I'll
exhausting
just
for you to
fall.
climb down.
I'll just fly down. I'm sort of hovering down, talking to them. And then, of course, there's this mask. If I can ever get it off, if we could remove the curse, it could be useful.
Yeah, Ozzy said he can get that tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I don't think that's a thing to worry about.
And then there's also the bell, I think.
Yeah, it's really creepy. I don't know if it's actually cursed. Maybe it's like Niffy's coin and it's not actually cursed, but it's really creepy. And if it is cursed, then I'm kind of concerned that I'm just going to hear giggles like it gives off when I pull it out, just like constantly. I don't want to do that. So if someone else wants it, you can feel free to take it. If you're happy to hear giggles all the time, I certainly don't want to do it.
I've heard tell that some men do hear giggles when they pull it out, like you said. It haunts them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I don't think you're talking about the same thing, and I don't particularly feel like clarifying.
You should trust me. There's a lot about bones.
What does it have to do with bones?
You're talking to the voice. That's the fourth wall.
Yes.
Listen, it's like the song goes, the penis bone is connected to the crotch bone.
Whoa! Who said anything about the bone?
You were talking about whipping it out and people giggling.
I was talking about the bell.
Yes, there's like a bell end.
Ozzy, do you want the bell? Do you want the giggle bell?
I mean, I don't feel that it's been very clear what it does.
Well, based on a precursory identification,
Yeah, precursor.
it can make us a little bit better at things. If like we think we're gonna fail, then it can make it not fail a few times a day.
Is it going to make you nervous to use it?
Absolutely. If it's cursed, then I really don't want to hear giggles in my sleep, like just when I'm chilling. So
Would you prefer that I have it so that if it is cursed, that it is something that I can then just get rid of and it's only affecting me?
yeah, that would be great.
Right, I'll take it then. Yeah, that's no problem.
All right, here
Do
you
I
go.
have to attune to it? Because if I've attuned to stuff.
Nope. If you think someone's gonna fuck something up, just ring it, and it should fix that.
Is the dust of disappearance a one use thing?
I believe it is a one-use thing. Or if it's not a one-use thing, it'll say how many uses it is.
Alex, you didn't
Let me
mention
see if
other
I can
uses.
find it.
They all have beyond pages, but I believe it is one use.
When thrown into the air, makes you a nearby creature consumed upon use. Yes, and the ability ends of the.
What about the ever smoking bottle? Is that a one use?
I believe that would be one use as well. Yeah, once you uncork it.
Oh, I thought that was. I've always thought that was a multi-use thing of just recorking it. Uncorking
We'll have
it
to read
again.
it. I don't know specifically.
Anyway, bag of tricks.
The cloud persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing the bottle requires you to speak a command word as an action. Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. Moderate wind can also disperse it. Yeah, it can be reused. It is reusable.
Wonderful.
You just have to recork it. The clouds stick around for a long fucking time, though.
Well, do you want to read all that stuff in the week? But you eventually get back to the ship. It is sitting and bobbing exactly where you left it. It's been many hours, but it is there. You do fly down in various ways to the ship, and I'm sure you're very happy to see your bed as you rest of the evening. Are you heading towards the Moonhaven direction?
Yes.
Unless the captains have something else, yeah.
No, Moonhaven is. So we're going to head over there, see if we can.
Niffy's navigation,
No breathing.
superbly high. Obviously, you would need to do some shipping.
And I would
But
probably
to-
be able
to
to
get-
assist since I'm familiar with the path.
It's good enough. To get to the mouth of the river that leads to Moonhaven will take about 5 days.
Oh, damn.
And then the trip up the river will then probably take another 5 or so.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's quite the distance.
5, gosh.
It's about 1,200 miles to the river's mouth.
Hot damn.
Alternatively, you would be aware that Marrow has a teleportation station in it. You would be
You know we're not using that.
you would be aware also that places like Moonhaven would have illegal teleportation stations, but you do not know. You've never used them before.
What?
Why are you pronouncing it weird? It's teleportation station.
Teleportation station.
I guess illegal ones just come with the risk of summoning black wyverns to attack you at some point, maybe.
Or large and unfriendly people.
Yeah, there would be strong rumors about what happens with the illegal ones, although you don't know what's true. There is talk of what people call a mixture of, it could be the Nightwalker, the Night Stalker, the Dark One,
Thick daddy boy.
and also these black wyverns that there are reports, but of course that is something that is extremely controlled, so generally you don't know if it's just exaggerated rumors, you don't know if it's even true, because you're not really sure of any of this kind of stuff. I mean, Monty, is probably something that's been on your mind a while, that you do manage to sort of move between spaces, and it's not how it's described in any book. There are, a famous old book written by Zegeth Boland talked about the in-between, and there's lots of people, you've heard of the empty plane and this, but you don't go there, and you're not really sure what your movements are. In fact, when you teleport, that doesn't happen. You don't know what's happening with you, so it's very different. So, realistically, you just know that there is a way to do so, to teleport, but
Don't quite know how it
what
works.
will happen, you don't know. But you set sail for the evening, get the movement going down to the mouth, through the Uthven Sea, which I believe, yes, is Caerwyn for Crescent. That's the Crescent Sea. Is that the Crescent Sea, or is the Crescent Sea elsewhere? Yeah, I think that's the Crescent Sea. Fun fact, a sea is between land and water, and an ocean is between water and water.
There you go.
As you move over towards the mouth of a river that has not been named, but will probably be named by the time we get to it next week.
The Flosser. The River Flosser.
Alex, I'm just assuming we're going to have a chat about my mother.
I'm going to have to talk to you about your mother.
Yes, how much moss has grown on this rock in Rowan's absence?
Moss doesn't grow on this rock.
Whoa, it's a moss-resistant rock.
No, it's just a rolling. What's the phrase? A moving rock doesn't.
A rolling stone.
Rolling stone doesn't gather moss.
That's the one. Give or take.
She's part of the band, the Rolling Stones.
She's very much not rolling. She's like pretty solidly in place, I would say.
So you, as a kid, you'd be like, "Ha, ruffle," and she'd be like, "No."
Pretty stone-faced. Pretty hard person.
Face like flint.
Part of me is glad you're not going to be there next week for this, because you'll just be making puns the whole fucking time.
I want to be there to meet the rock, Mum.
Isn't it so funny? Well, to be honest, you've got 10 days of travel on a boat, which will probably take 3 sessions. But, knowing you guys. But realistically, what would happen is you'd be having like serious conversations or whatever. You'd be introducing your rock.
We're going to get stuck in Moonhaven,
and then just in the background was just Jordan. She's a rock.
Yeah, basically.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Jeudy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind-the-scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then.
I think you should disguise yourself as the man whore or the horseman that I put into chat.
You know, you just
What?
said the man whore, didn't
The
you?
man-
I did not realize that I said that.
Thank you for giving me
That
something to
was
step out of the
recorded.
credits.
Shit.